Evening, everybody.
Hello. Hi, melting. But I don't need to tell you all about that because
Kaz is melting. I've gone full redneck. It's blimey.
Yeah.
Is it a bit on the warm side? Just a little bit here, hot here in the south of the UK. And
tomorrow it's going to be 32, possibly 34.
And so tonight I'll say hi to Simon, hi to Stealth.
Hi Stealth, hi Simon.
And I am only having shandies tonight. Reason being, it's too hot for putting my normal dose of alcohol into my bloodstream.
I dehydrate, but that is water.
It would just make me feel like.
Is it 64 ounces of water?
Dirty Faces, hi mate, how you doing?
I've got some of the instant cooling mist. This stuff is amazing.
Yeah, it's good.
It is, yeah. You just and if you're stuck on a train or in the car, just avoid that. And yeah, any slight breeze or anything coming through the car window, and you'll be nice and cool. Hi Ray.
Ray, how you doing, mate? Hope you're good. It's going to be a hard one tonight. We are here in the man cave. The sun hits that window, that side there, as it's.
We've got a fan in the hallway, a big 20-inch, bringing it in this way, and we've got a 20-inch in our bedroom. So it's literally, the windows are open, so it's coming from that way and that way into here, and it's still not really.
And that's the cool side of the house because the sun's that side. So I know some of you are going to go, that's a bit mad having the window open in this heat, but basically that side is in shadow. So just trying to move the air, bring in a little bit, cool it down. It's murderous. Poor old Willow, the last couple of days, has moved from one bit of cold tile to the next bit of cold tile. Yeah. He's pancaked. He's not
Dirty Faces, Roman Ray. We're going to really get it tomorrow. I mean, not that it's not been too bad as it is, but hi Benny.
Clanfield. Oh, Benny, how you doing,
hi,
mate?
Hi Andy.
Hope it's a bit cooler up there for you. Andy, hiya, mate.
Benny loved your making memories video.
Yeah.
I take it that was Luna. God, she's growing so much.
Yeah. Hi, Kitten.
Hi, Kitten.
Andy Taylor, hiya. Yeah, we're not doing too bad. We're pushing on.
We've been we're not hibernating. We've been just sticking out of the hot sun.
Staying out the sun.
Yeah.
We've literally last night. Let's go through last night. Last night was interesting, wasn't it? It was hot. It was really hot.
And we got those cool mats that go the whole. It's a king size one.
Yeah.
And that's really cool on the bed as it is, but. Even then,
and I like a cool room. I can't sleep in heat. I struggle with it. So it was probably about 2 o'clock we both started finally drifting, wasn't it? And about 2 o'clock we're like, and we're just going. It's exhaustion more than anything. And at about 2:30, 3 o'clock, it started in our garden. Now I must tell the story of this bloody thing right from the beginning. I'm not a cat hater. I would never harm a cat. However, we've got 2 cats in particular, a ginger and a black cat, that live around here.
One's a female. The black one is female.
Yeah. For some reason, they've decided my front garden, right under my bedroom window, is the place to be. It's the place to get together and fight. My garden's become their boxing ring. I've tried everything. I've used citronellas, cat off, Willow's peed everywhere. I've peed everywhere. We've tried everything we can to deter these cats from my garden.
Stuff out the window.
Yeah, without harming them. I don't want to cause them physical pain. They're somebody's pet. However, I must admit, at 3 o'clock, just after 3 o'clock this morning, I'd had enough. I'd done the piss off. I'd done the throwing small things. I'd had enough. I came into the man cave.
I threw half a bottle of water out.
Cats threw half, and they would run off and come straight back. And I went and got one of the large, heavy-duty plastic bags that you find in the old 24-hour ration packs with the Ziploc.
It's troll season.
And I filled it with water. And I Ziplocked it, folded the top over, taped it down.
Benny.
And I've come from the man cave through to the bedroom with the window wide open, balancing this thing tentatively in my hands. Now, it's not an easy thing to throw this thing. You can't throw it directly. But as I walked to the window, I looked for the cats and I launched it upwards and outwards as hard as I could. And this thing arced. It went up. And then it came down. And luck would have it, not skill, but luck. It landed right between these two cats. But the thing is, it went off with a boom. Not only did it go off with a boom, it landed like a Moab. It landed like a nuclear device. My grass is a little bit long in the garden. Instantly, the grass in a circle was flattened out as the water exploded from it. It made a hell of a noise. One cat bolted straight for the hedge to go through the centre of the bottom of the hedge, and then found the chicken wire that's in the middle of the hedge.
Because it misjudged the hole.
The other cat, well, I don't know where his jet propulsion system is mounted, but he managed to attain about 4 feet before moving horizontally. It was the funniest thing you'd ever seen. However, the downside of that is the buggers have woken me up in setting everything up, going to the window, doing this, being amazed at my own amazing abilities, and then laughing my arse off.
So 4 o'clock this morning we were having toast.
Yeah, I was awake. So at 4 o'clock this morning, I made breakfast and a cup of tea. And but like I say, no cats were harmed in the making of that extreme water bomb. Tomorrow I will try again.
Yeah, Benny. See, to avoid trolls in troll seasons, you need to get a troll.
Yeah, you need to get a troll.
Yeah. See, we got a troll. He's from Temu, and he's from one of their fairy garden sets. But so to get rid of the trolls, you have to have a resident troll.
You have to have a troll. And the thing is, all the other trolls are aware that if they attack me, I take it out on him. It's like having enemy prisoners.
Yep.
You know, be good to my prisoners, or I'll be bad to your prisoner. Willow,
you're not having my
Willow really wants the troll.
So you're not having my troll.
Yeah, not having it. So that's how you deal with trolls. Trolls, bloody trolls. People.
Hi, Lefty.
I'm not. You know, I have on my channel as with.
Oh, chronically, you don't look like one.
As with all you guys with channels, nobody minds somebody saying, "Do you know what? I didn't like your video. Perhaps if you did this, perhaps you did that." We can take that. It's when we get the stupidity, which leads me to my main subject tonight in a minute. That is when people make comments which you know instantly is based on actually no experience. I regularly get it. I get people say stupid things like, "But you can go 3 days with no water. You can go 3 weeks with no food."
But I'll just say, hi, Andy. Hope you're getting on well. Andy B is cycling to Flanders.
Well done, mate.
Released from his mates, and then he's going to be spending some time going around all the war graves and that, and then he's going to be watching the Tour de France. So I hope you're doing well and enjoy.
Philip, I hope you get on well with it. I hope you enjoy it. He's got himself the
We've been staying indoors chronically.
Yeah, we've been sheltering in place.
Yeah, with the cool mist, the fact that we've got 4 20-inch fans, so we're...
Yeah, it's not too bad. We're just unfortunate we live in a house that was built in the 60s with no idea of insulation.
Yeah, Tour de France.
Yeah, so it's a bit murderous. Hi, Tarpack, how you doing, guys?
Hi, Tarpack.
Yeah. As you see, guys, you're on the board. Yeah, Thursday, was it Wednesday? I'm out with Tarpack. Got some innovations to show me.
Ooh.
I should be videoing that. That'll be a video this week. Hi, Owen, how you doing? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a black slate roof, and this is where the sun is behind us at the moment, next to you, and it is absolutely... yeah, if you can, I was illuminated then by the
sun. There you go. Yeah, open the curtains and get dazzled. Yeah, so yeah, it's absolute murder. So yeah, let's get back to this whole thing of the rule of 3. So the rule of 3 was developed in the 1960s and 70s for basically SF operators, mainly in the States, to be honest. That's where it originated. And it was through some good thinking, some good practice. The rule of three was developed as part of the training package for survival training, escape innovation for professional operators. People that were absolutely at the top of their game, physically fit, in good shape, ready to go. And the rule of thumb was developed to give them a basic line of extremities, and it is a line of extremities. It is as far as you can go. Okay, it's not meant to be something where people sit there and go, I don't need to drink water for 2 days because I can go 3 days with no water. Nor is it something to say I can go 3 weeks without food. These are extremities.
I feel
well before you get to the extremity, they will point out to you that you are going to be suffering with kidney failure. You're going to be suffering with illness, and your body is going to be breaking itself down. So why did they develop it? Well, they developed it for morale, and they needed that baseline for training. So when we break down, and I'll go to my own training manual of many years. Okay, I will go to my notes on this, and we will start with the first one, which is water. Okay, so water, and I will just read what it says here, because basically these are my older instructing notes. So these are the notes that I had basically from when I was running courses. Water, it is essential for life. You can survive 3 weeks without food and only 3 days without water, but you will start to dehydrate within hours. When suffering dehydration, right? When suffering dehydration, you lose the ability, or you lose your coolant. The coolant doesn't just, or water doesn't just act as coolant. It also removes toxins via your kidneys, and it also acts as a conductor for nerve impulses. It is limited and must be replaced, or your health and ability to function will suffer quickly. The average person will lose 2 to 3 litres of water every single day at rest. Okay, so at rest and in shade, 2 to 3 litres of water a day. You lose 1 litre a day purely through breathing. Okay,
thank you.
Exertion, diarrhea, vomiting will all increase that loss even further. Right. As I put it in here, all running water can be purified through boiling or using chemical means, right, and filtering. Ration your sweat, not your water. Make sure you're carrying enough, and when you can, collect from the wild. But bear in mind pollution. When you're taking water in, sip it to moisten the mouth and take regular small amounts. Right? If you drink larger amounts quickly, you're turning it pretty much straight to urine. Avoid all exertion. Do not smoke. Stay in the shade and erect cover if necessary. Keep as cool as possible. Do not lie on hot ground, and eat as little as possible, as body uses moisture to break down food. Avoid alcohol, which I'm doing at the moment. Big brackets, think kidneys. Don't talk and breathe through your nose. Okay, so it's quite simple. You lose water rapidly on a daily basis. If you don't replace that water, you start going for the 3-day extreme. Yeah, your kidney function is going to fail. You're not going to take the toxins out of your bloodstream. You start poisoning yourself. Everything ceases to function. The muscles will start to cramp because they don't have enough water in your body to help the muscles to function correctly. The neural pathways in your brain will start to break down. They will start to suffer. So your ability to rationalise, think, operate as you should, that all ceases to function. And that can be within hours. Right? Not only that, is water helps to cool the body. So by not having the water, you're accelerating not just dehydration, but the risk of heat stroke, okay, and the associated problems that come with that. Food, which was the one that came up, unfortunately, on Benny's video, somebody decided to make that comment. Don't know why you like someone's got the woods and eat food. You can go 3 weeks with no food.
Wow.
Okay. Let's go through the training manual again. And this took a lot of research, this little booklet of mine. This is something I put together many years ago. Food. The average person at rest will use 70 calories per hour just to breathe and run their basic metabolism, blood circulation, etc. Right? And that is just basic non-exertive activity. If you get to things such as standing up, sitting down, lighting a fire, these will add another 45 calories per hour. So in a day, taking it easy will require a minimum of 2,040 calories. Major activity could burn up to 3,500 to 4,000 per day. Do not squander your energy. Keep calm, relax if food is scarce. Calories can be provided by three things: carbohydrates, fat, and proteins. Okay? The carbohydrates are either sugars or starches and are easily absorbed into the body and require little water. So again, if you're in limited resources, carbs are your friend. You want to get those into you. Slow release of energy, your brain uses carbs to function. Fats. Fats contain the same elements but in higher proportion than carbs, okay? But require water for your body to break them down and process them. So again, if you've got access to fats and you've got plenty of water, go to the fats, same to carbs when water's short. Protein. Protein is the only food element containing nitrogen, right, which is essential for the body's repair. Right? It is also full of amino acids, which are essential. You really need those amino acids. Now, the nitrogen you're not going to get from any other food source unless you're going to start digging up grass, eating grass roots and things like that, which you're not going to be able to break down. Okay, so that is basically food and water. If you go without food, within hours, your body ceases to function. Okay, if you're slightly older like me, lack of sugars will actually start to cause problems in your body, releasing insulin. Okay, equally, if you're getting too much sugar and nothing else is balancing, you're going to suffer with problems. It's going to affect your ability to think. It's going to affect your energy levels. It's going to affect your ability to operate. So this whole thing of, the rule of 3 days no water, 3 days without food, is right. Or 3 weeks without food, in the right situation. However, it is something to be avoided at all costs. In all the survival training and teaching that I've ever done, I prioritise food and water, okay, just behind my shelter system. And I say to people, right from the beginning, water, 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 and everywhere as possible, seek food. Keep the body fueled, keep it operating, keep it managing. Food helps to keep you warm, keep you functioning correctly, and it helps with morale.
Yeah, Tarpax just said 48 hours on the move, no food, and you will be in a shit state. Been there, done it, about 4 days. You're in a bad way. Yeah,
exactly that. And so that's where what happens is out there in the survival world and in the YouTube world, there are plenty of people doing videos going, 3 weeks and no food.
Hi, Andy.
Without the understanding of what the effects are and where that planning came from. That planning was actually designed to go behind a lesson in escape and evasion. Okay, that lesson with escape and evasion was actually given. You have information that you must get from your downed aircraft back behind your lines at all costs. Okay, in those sort of situations, you can afford to run your body ragged because what you're doing is at all costs.
I'll write it down, Andy.
Whereas for the average survivalist, the average one of us, the average person going out, if you, by all means try it. Give yourselves, give yourselves a 24-hour period with no food. See how you feel.
Simon just said 1 Mars bar, and Luke said 24 hours, easy. Thing is, if these people who are talking about food, if you want someone to go picking snails up or eating stuff like that, to make a video about it, you do it yourself.
Yeah.
If you want to watch stuff like that, go on. I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here.
Simon's right. 1 Mars bar, 1 Lucozade, 24 hours, piss easy, carry it. Yeah.
Go ahead, Andy.
Carry it. Equip yourself for what you need. And we're all different. I know plenty of people that can actually go on what would be to me to be a starvation ration and manage on that quite happily. I also know people that couldn't. So you also have to balance this whole thing off of your own ability, your own experience. The majority of us have never, or majority of people have never been in a genuine hunger situation. They've never been starving. Okay, it's a tough experience to go through. It is something, if you're serious about training and survival techniques, it's something worth practicing. Give yourself a 24-hour fast. Okay, give yourself a 24-hour fast. See how you feel at the end of it. If you really want to push it and want to find out about yourself, take a normal day on normal food over a set distance, measure it, time it, do a really good distance. Give yourself a 24-hour fast and repeat the same exercise at the end of it, and study the effects on your body. Learn how it affects you. Notice how much less energy you've got.
I mean, if you pee, if your pee is different colours, it's not. If it's bright yellow, you're slightly dehydrated. If it goes too dark, then you're shit's like.
And that's the other thing is you've got to keep your body in a functioning order. I would always rather carry too much than too little. It's one thing. I've been in starvation situations. It's one thing to have too much and lug it out with you and be annoyed at the weight. It is definitely another thing to be stuck in that situation where you are absolutely starving. And I don't just mean one day starving. I mean days and days and days of hunger.
Yeah, right, Andy.
And it affects your morale. It affects your morale, affects your ability to function. And it will damage you. It will definitely 100% damage you. Especially water. Very quickly, you will notice the pain in your back from your kidneys. You'll notice how it becomes uncomfortable.
Yeah, I wouldn't fancy 48-hour fast with no water. It wouldn't be fun. Right, I just got a quick question for you. It's off your subject. Andy outside says, your MTP shirt that you dyed the sleeves orange.
Yeah.
What are the two lower sleeve pockets on each arm in a military application?
Which ones does he mean?
You get that. And, right. Andy outside says, we smells of Rice Krispies, you're dehydrated. Yes. Tarpac, day 4, sitting under a tree, wondering why farmers can't grow roast chickens in the fields. That's badly in need of everything.
So on the MTP shirt, the top of the pocket, you have a large at the top sleeve, you have a large pocket each side there. That's not actually a pocket below it. That is literally for your morale patch. Yeah. So you have one large pocket each side. Now,
exactly, Owen. It is a food itself.
One of the
apart from mince.
Right. These pockets, they all have loops in them, so that you can tie off equipment. Now, if I'm just wearing a shirt,
no, the forearm ones.
That's what
you're saying. The forearm ones.
These ones don't actually have a pocket in the forearm.
They haven't got any.
These don't have a pocket in the forearm.
So if yours, if he's had the pockets in the forearm, what would they be?
I honestly don't know.
Hi, John.
I wouldn't understand why you'd have a pocket in your forearm. I'm just trying to think about it. If it might be. I know there's a difference between some of the.
It's good to fast, like you say, shorty.
Some of the equipment.
Lefty.
There's a difference between some of the equipment that's issued for people like pilots and some of the plant and equipment operators.
It might be the older ones.
Specifically, so that they've got access to things in sitting positions, i.e. small pieces of equipment and that. One of the great things with these shirts and that is the angle of the pockets. The two top pockets on there, I mean, traditionally field dressing in one and admin in the other. And because that doesn't have any chest pockets, because obviously you're wearing webbing, it's going to be somewhere just to keep kit with you that you might need. And I try not to get into specifics as in what I would put. I did have a smock which had a pocket in each wrist. And again, no idea. In actual fact, it was one of those things that was pointless to me. I was like, why would you have something down here that's going to have weight flap around, be a pain? Unless it's going to be, you're a medic or somebody like that, you might want to keep dressings and things in there, or maybe an intrabator or something like that. So it's fast to get to when you're operating.
Well, Lefty was saying he often fasts for 24 hours. It kicks in the digestion very good, and his opinion even forte even better. You've done sometimes you do that. You say, right, I'm having a fast.
Yeah, just short-term fasts are actually very good for the human body. It gives you a chance. You almost sort of detox. It's a way for the human body to almost get back to a balance and get
sort everything out. So you're not eating, Katrina. It's when you do fast, it not only makes you appreciate your food, but it can reset your thing, because sometimes you can, if you start eating too much, your stomach swells out to the amount that you're eating, and then your body expects that amount. Right. Whereas someone's fasting, it shrinks your stomach back down to what it was.
The other thing with fasting is if you fast, and when I fast, I go on to just water. That's all I'm taking in is water, and the bonus there is I'm not putting any foodstuffs into me, so my kidneys get a chance to get absolutely cleaned out properly. In other words, the only thing going through them is water, and it helps flush out the toxins. Same thing with my liver. The liver then is only getting what is required. Because it's only a 24-hour fast, your body hasn't started breaking itself down. So all you're doing is really getting what's in this system here out and giving your body a bit of a chance. It also gives you, because you will come out of it hungry, it gives you a good appreciation of
I know that
what the effects are like and how you can feel. But again, I wouldn't do it if I was working, if I was having to go to work, if I was going out on a job or a mission. I wouldn't want to be fasting beforehand. Always got to feel your body. But if you've got a day, you say, do you know what, Saturday I'm doing nothing, I'm going to be around the house all day, I haven't got to drive, I haven't got to do this, that and the other, maybe sit there and say to yourself, right, from midnight Friday to midnight Saturday, I'm going to cut all foods out, I'll just keep myself going on water, see how I feel after that.
Steph says he usually fasts for a week. Yeah. And on the third day, he says you're the most alert you've ever been. Yeah. But he drinks Bovril.
Yeah.
Which is it's all the
so what you're doing,
whatever it is.
Stealth, brilliant idea. So again, you can get food supplements. I know a lot of people that are training, use food supplements. So instead of taking in all the normal stuff they do, they literally go onto a supplemented diet. And it's stuff that's easy to process, and it's only got in it the bare minimum, or the minimum that your body requires. So they're not putting excess in. They're not building up any extra fat. They're not putting in any extra sugars, carbs, and things like that. They're only getting what their body needs.
I've got a daily fat busting drink, and all it is 1 teaspoon in about yay much water in a glass or something. And I have that every day.
Speeds up your metabolic rate, doesn't it?
And it's got all the electrolytes, it's got all the vitamins and that you need it in a daily amount.
Bovril, drink of gods, yeah, definitely. Good one, Andy.
Yeah.
So I tried that fat buster of Kaz, and unfortunately I didn't come off the ceiling all day. It speeds up the metabolic rate, and I actually found myself getting a proper sort of mad beat going on.
Yeah, I didn't like the cherry one. They do it with watermelon. They do a lemonade and strawberry one that I'm not so keen on either, but the forest fruit I like.
It's very interesting to see how many people that do fast. It is a good system. So people used to do it for years and years and years ago as a standard thing in all faiths. I mean, even within the Christian faith, there is a fasting period. It's
I like Bovril. I wouldn't fancy it with pink salt, but it's amazing that how much better you feel, especially in a cold situation. Having a hot Bovril, or even an Oxo if you haven't got
Bovril with pink salt. I like Bovril with pepper. I've got in fact, actually,
I like tomato soup with loads of white pepper in it.
And in actual fact, my go-to is Oxo cubes. I love an Oxo cube. Oxo cube, cut hot water, boiling water.
I used to eat them as kids. I should raid my granny's cupboard and nick the Oxo and Bovril cubes.
Sherry, rum.
No, you're right at Three Dog. There's a lot of things that aren't the same. The Oxo is not the same.
No.
And it's like the Army chocolate is The hot chocolate is not the same anymore, and I've stopped eating dairy milk.
Yeah.
When I do have a bit of chocolate, I have Galaxy now because dairy milk, it's got a funny sort of coffee tang to it now.
It's
yeah.
A lot of things have changed with so-called safety, and giving you good correct diets, because you've got to be told what you need to eat. So we reduce salt in this and we reduce fat in that.
Oh, I must have missed that.
And it's funny, we went through a 20-year period which was like no fat, no salt, and all this. All of a sudden, science has now turned around and going, actually, those spreads that they said to take instead of the butter, they're not so good for you. They cause cancer. You're actually better off with the butter and so on. I stick to what my mum's always said to me: all things in moderation.
Yeah.
All things.
I missed that, Kitten.
Be sensible.
So Kitten actually light an oxo cube with a ferro rod. I never saw that one. That's mad, isn't it?
Roast potatoes.
Roast potatoes. That's got that. That's who does that? One of the Pierre White matey. He does that. Puts oxo on his roast potatoes. Yeah, they don't, do they? And it doesn't. It's not nice.
Yeah.
Exactly. It runs around, eat it. If it grows out of the ground, eat it.
No, I think you're right, Mac. I think there's. I don't think they can call it chocolate. I don't think it's. I think it doesn't fit in the parameters anymore.
I think they're putting more of that stuff. You have to take when you're diabetic.
Yeah.
The fake chocolate. Hi, Cookie. How you doing?
So anyhow, you may notice tonight I have taken the advice of some of my American friends who have said to me, cut the sleeves off your shirt, Mickey. Give yourselves a chance to breathe. Desperation. I just literally 2 minutes beforehand, pair of scissors over there. Get the air flowing. It is hot. So
I think my favourite is they're definitely Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
that really thick bar you got me that time. Really expensive, about £3 a bar. Yeah, I didn't like that chocolate. It's yeah.
Yeah, didn't like that at all. It was expensive as well.
Wear a vest, you've ruined your shirt. Oh, we don't mind.
I've got no vest. That was probably Kaz. I said to Kaz, I'll get a vest out. Went to
he hasn't got any. He's got all with sleeves.
Yeah, everything's got sleeves on it. And normally I don't wear this sort of kit.
You're going to have to.
But I'm so hot. I'm just literally, I don't know what the temperature is in the room at the moment.
We had
I've got no thermometer in here, but I'm melting.
All right, love, you take it easy. Yeah, we had a bad parcel from Temu this week, and it wasn't a bad parcel as in a bad items. They sent, I wanted to get a fishing rod, so they sent a fishing rod from China in a package that was that long, and it had that much of the fishing rod just sticking out. Literally, like that. That part was sticking out of the parcel, and it arrived not broken, nothing.
So that's
we haven't got peacocks anymore. They've gone.
Yeah, so that's a little spinning rod. So that's going to get some use this week. And going TA outdoors.
Yeah. That's quite a nice little rod, that one. But they're both nice rods. Yep.
There you go. Nice little
rod. Nice rod that is.
And that, again, that is a Suogei Lang 240.
Well, I actually wanted to do, I didn't tell him. What I've been doing, I've been ordering fishing gear from Temu. They got like a unhooking mat.
I love fishing.
Some of the lures. I've got pike. Today you got a lovely frog, and like a dragonfly for later on in the year when the pike season's
I love fishing.
Yeah,
always have done. And I haven't been fishing for a couple of years.
Still fishing.
And a lot of my kit is carp orientated.
Yeah.
Like Mac, I've got a lot of carp gear. that is carb orientated. I sort of got bored with it. I want to go back to this. Is literally this week. Me and Mac are going to pretend we are 9 again. We're getting together. We're going to be 9-year-olds. We're going to go out to a little bit of water we know of, and we're going to have a session.
I'm sure that they will get round to beach fishing, because we used to do it down in Mac and Mitch used to do it down in Cornwall.
Oh yeah, bass.
Because our favourite place was Bude, and Bude's actually got a river that flows through lock gates into the sea.
Yep.
And they got some really big carp in there, haven't they?
Yeah.
Really big carp.
Kids skills, yes, John, exactly. Kids skills, and there's a big kid in us all. It's a pleasure of getting back to doing things. I mean, Matt, we're talking about it. It's, done the big fish thing.
Yeah.
Just go back to the beginning. What was the pleasure when we were kids? When we were kids, we went fishing as boys.
Yeah.
Did you say, I'm going carp angling, I'm going piking? No, you didn't. You usually just went, I'm going fishing. And if you caught something, no matter what it was, that was a success.
All I had to do was go walk down from my uncle's farm bungalow. He's walked down one field, and between it's at a junction of 3 fields, my dad and my uncle dug a deep pond, because one of my dad's bosses was emptying his pond. He wanted to put trout in it. He changed it to a big trout pond.
Yeah.
And they moved it. My dad was taking, big the plastic bins that you have for the garden. Yeah. He was taking it with fishing from in the car over to the pond, and we put them in there, and that pond is still there. And I'm nearly 60 now, and I'm wondering
how well stocked
because that they bred well in that pond. There's some lovely gold ones in, like golden white ones and normal ones, because I do wonder.
Yeah, we know Hampshire tackle very well.
Oh, left his head. He said all this talk of fishing, he's heading to the lake Seal next week. Has it gone down yet, or you still got your boat ramps and all that underwater?
Yeah, I've decided. There's a video coming up.
Cheers, Andy.
I'm having a walk, and I explain a bit about what's going on in that. But I'm getting back to doing the survival things, the basics of survival. And gear and that videos, but I want to do, because it is Hampshire Outdoors, and I always said from the beginning, share out the outdoors. So I'm going to do a couple of fishing videos.
What we used to do, isn't it? We used to go park our car at near Ash Station, and there was a boathouse there, and next to the boathouse was the rail bridge, and it was really clear water and huge perch, didn't we? And we used to walk along the canal, looking for the fish and stopping and remember that day we were looking, we put the lure out, and this huge head turned round out below our feet, and you caught that bugger. It was a huge
24-pound pike.
Yeah,
it was huge. I was spinning for jack pike out across the canal.
You forgot your unhooking.
Didn't have my discordia with me or my forceps, because I was only jack pike.
Yeah.
And as I brought the lure in, she spotted this head moving, and I kid you not, it looked like a crocodile. This thing just moved slowly like that, and it watched the lure as I lifted it out. She was there. Dropped the lure in, and it was a couple of flicks around in front of it.
Quite lefty, tight lines.
And it was 24-pound pike. I kid you not, when I had it out onto the bank, I actually had it up by the gills like that.
And its tail was
still on the path. It was an absolute swine. Beautiful fish. Went back as good as gold. And
sticks.
That was my personal best pike. It was.
We used to take a boat out in there as well. We used to go. Our friend Michael used to jump out of the boat and climb up all the trees and get all the lures and it's only about 15, 16.
He was about 15 then.
He used to climb all the trees, collecting all people's floats and stuff that stuck up the trees and the flashes.
Yeah, he actually stocked his fishing tackle box by going across down the other side of the canal bank, because he was prepared to swim across.
2.5 pound pout, lovely.
Yeah. So it's getting back to simple pleasures, and
I used to love it. You used to looking for the jack pike and that, especially with sun.
I know some people are going to say, "Oh, it's not what I come to the channel for." Well, I'm sorry, it's part and parcel of it. I'm afraid it's outdoors. And the other thing is, fishing is survival training.
And women fish as well. Some of the ones that don't like wearing the fish, we can fish.
If you can catch a fish, you can feed your family. What's the old saying? Give a man a fish, he can feed himself for the day. Teach a man to fish, he can feed himself and his family for pretty much eternity. Yeah. So again, it's one of those skills, isn't it? It's like any form of hunting.
I'll be interested to see how many of the old crayfish have taken over down there, because they're a pain in the ass.
They were a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I don't mind you. I quite understand you turning the comments off about your videos there, Benny.
Yeah,
it does seem about
Benny.
weirdos and that.
I do apologise that I sort of stuck my 5 pence worth.
No, he's on about the one that the memories one today.
The memories one. Yeah, no, I get that, mate. Because I tell you what, if I put up something like that and somebody made an inappropriate comment, I would be hunting them down. So yeah, turn your comments off on that.
Yeah, we have to get a license, John, if we do gather them. But it's signal crayfish, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So the license through the Environment Agency is free, and the reason it's licensed, because a lot of people say, "Oh, well, why should it be licensed for an invasive species?" Well, there's 2 very good reasons why it's licensed. It's so that they can make you do a little course, an online course.
Because there are people that make a business out of getting them.
Yeah. Well, the main reasons, the 2 main reasons are, one, it's to protect other species. It's so that they can make sure the traps you're using aren't a risk to things like otters and other wildlife. It's also to ensure that you know what you're catching, and you're catching the right species, because if
you get the right ones,
the English crayfish is a very, very much a dying species, and obviously
because of the signal ones, isn't it?
So in the UK at the moment, if you're a fisherman and you catch a crayfish, American crayfish, you are not allowed to put it back. You are supposed to destroy it. You are supposed to kill it. You are supposed to try and help protect the waterways. So it's to just make sure people know what they're doing, because I've done it myself. You can go onto Temu and you can buy crayfish traps.
They're illegal.
They are. They are completely illegal. They are basically. I got some to have a look at. Got them back here, and they will trap and drown any number of species other than the crayfish. They are probably fine in China, but yeah, you wouldn't want to use them in British waters. So it's just to make sure things are done correctly, safely, and managed properly.
I just say, it's another thing to put on another food to put on your table. If you get the license and go and fish them, you don't have to be a great cray fisherman to catch them, because they're easy.
And for any of you that are thinking about catching crayfish, one of the essential things I suggest you do is get yourself an old tin bath. Now, the reason I say get an old tin bath or a large tank is, when you bring your crayfish home, what you want to do, you want to purge them. So you want to put them into clean water, and you want them in that clean water for a minimum of 24 hours. And then any toxins, metals, chemicals, nasties that they've picked up from the sewage or whatever's been dumped in the river get purged out of their gut and their system. Okay. Then in cooking them, you're giving yourself something safe to eat, because it's purged out, it's emptied that critter. It always scares me when I see people eating them by the side of the canal. And don't get me wrong, I've gone down and seen people boiling them up at the side of the canal, and I'm sort of thinking, well, I know the sewage farm outflow is only sort of 700 or 800 metres up there.
Yeah, it's great food. catching the things, because we went the last time I think we went fishing. We used this boilies, weren't they? And every time we got the boilie up, the boilie had been completely destroyed because there's bloody crayfish doing it.
And again, it's one of those things, isn't it? So it's know your waterways, know your features, know what's going into your waterways. Look at the businesses we've had. Must be about 10 years ago now. We had cyanide get into one of our local rivers up here from a metal plating company. Destroyed the river, absolutely destroyed everything in it. God forbid, we were lucky that nobody was fishing, nobody's dog had got into it before they realised what was happening. So again, it's you've got to be careful, especially down here in the south, or if you're in a very built-up industrialised area. Be careful.
You purge it for at least 24 hours in fresh water. Simon was just asking before you eat.
Clean water. Same thing. In actual fact, if you want to improve the flavour of any river caught fish or creature, you want to purge it. So you basically put them into clean running water or clean water for 24 hours. You do that with carp. You do that with pike. You do that with perch.
Because our son is in
prove the flavour no end.
Our son lives in Prague in Czechia, and at Christmas Eve it's traditional out there to have carp, and that's what they do. They catch the carp, purge them, and they actually have these sort of big like plastic picnic boxes, and they're by bus stops and that, and you can actually buy your carp there and then.
So Simon, basically what you're doing, especially if you're coming from a dirty water or an unknown source, purge it 24 hours. Same as you would with snails. You purge snails, you put them into a box and you don't feed them for 24 hours, and that way you get everything out of their system. It also improves the flavour. It allows them to do what they need to do naturally.
And it makes it the less chance of you getting very ill.
The thing is, you don't want what's in their gut. So if they've emptied their gut, then that's a precaution that's worth taking. Don't get me wrong, if you're catching them from a pure trout stream, chalk stream somewhere, that water's absolutely beautiful, there's no effluent, there's nothing going into it, then by all means, probably cooking them up on the riverbank isn't going to do you any harm whatsoever. But again, I always err on the side of caution. It's like taking water from the wild. Err on the side of caution. Filter it, boil it. People say to me, "Oh, you don't need to boil it and filter it." Well, I would just to make sure. Just what's the difficulty in making sure?
You rather have something that's safe to eat and not going to give you deli belly and.
I think the old adage is at the end of the day, it's like pointing something at yourself that's loaded, isn't it? Why would you do that? You wouldn't. But you go to the extra effort of actually making sure it's cleared, there's nothing in it, and it's safe. It's just simple precautions. I quite often see people that go, "Oh, I don't know why you do that. Why would you go to that effort?" Well, I go to that effort because I have been ill. Because I have made myself ill. Because why not?
On a different thing, Andy earlier on said, reminded me that next weekend it's a cable show. So if anyone is wanting to be getting themselves some nice bits and pieces, bits of kit, then the cable show is on. I think it's Saturday and Sunday. I think we may be going to that, mightn't we?
That's Sussex, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's Capel.
That's in Sussex, yeah. Yes, we should go to that. We'll go on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. Next Sunday.
Because you might be able to take my big mobility scooter and I can have a little noots about.
Take the trainer for you.
Near Ockley, yeah.
Right. Cable show next Sunday.
So you may see us if you're there.
Yeah, keep an eye out for us.
We can sign autographs. Have photographs taken. I don't want you lot all fighting over bits of the military kit now, though. So you have a tug of war with a pair of trousers or something.
Yeah, so we will be there. We will be there next Sunday.
It's near up.
Yeah, I'll bring up the address.
Yeah. Will Major Disaster be attending? Oh, I'm pretty sure Major Disaster. If it's a warm day, he might need his hat. If you hear a ruckus going on, you know he's there. Yeah, I saw adverts. All right.
Right, so
Bill's just read that last week that snails have been put on the venomous insect list.
Yeah.
Oh, they are? Yeah, he said yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Side of tent, for sure.
It's not the fact that they produce venom, it's the fact that they carry the toxins from plants that they consume. Same as caterpillars.
I think the same as why you don't let your dogs eat. You shouldn't really leave your dog's water bowls and toys outside.
Yeah.
No. Have you got it?
Yeah. Right. Capel Military Show.
Put the
what I'll do, I'll just put the postcode for it and that. So.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me, Andy. I've forgotten all about that. But I did see the advert for it the other day, and I meant to say to you, I don't know where you were somewhere. That's very nice. That's it. Same as if they hear of any other military shows around and about, etc., we'll let you know. So, just in case it's in your area and you fancy just having a mooch around, or even just look at the military vehicles and that. We stopped doing the quiz so much because some didn't like it, and it was
yeah.
We're not going to. We'll do it again, but we're just having a bit of a break. So there we have.
Capel Military Show.
A Dorking, and it's RH5 5HJ.
There we go.
Oh, thank you. I really, really, really like them. Lee wants to know how's the kidney. You got your next.
Right, kidney is fine. Okay, so kidney's fine, but they have.
Well, unless you want to be the guest quizzer, no, Owen.
Yeah, the kidney's fine, but they've got. I may be developing another problem. Yeah, I may be developing another problem, which may be cancer, may not be. Don't know at the moment. Got to have loads of tests. It's affecting another part of my body.
All right, next week then you're getting to do one.
So they, 9th of July, I'll go for tests on that, find out what's happening there. It's a bit of a kick in the nuts, really, in more ways than one, because just life, isn't it? It's just life. I've just got to an age. Let's face it, I've survived being stabbed, blown up, shot, set on fire, fights outside nightclubs as a doorman. All through my life, I've been Mr. Bullet Dodger, Mr. Lucky.
Yes, please.
And now it's coming back to kick me in the arse. Stay positive, stay hopeful, and just do what the doctors tell me. Other than that, I'm okay. Walking's a bit uncomfortable, shall we say, at the moment, although I'm trying to get the walks in. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. Adventure always, mate. Yeah. Adventure always.
And it actually says, find your path.
Yeah. Find your path.
Dandelion and burdock. I love it as a fizzy drink, but I never tried a coffee. Interesting.
Dandelion and burdock coffee.
Yeah. Thank you. Owen's posted the link up there for the Capel show for anyone who's interested.
I've done dandelion coffee, burdock coffee I've never done. because I always think dandelion first.
Yeah, HB Saucer set it right.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly is. That's in Surrey. It's on the Surrey. It's just on the Surrey-Sussex border, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. Cable.
Yeah, it's actually a dress. I had to. Sorry, I'm sort of. I've been in a t-shirt for night t-shirt all the last couple of days, and I didn't think that it was appropriate for me to be wearing that sort of thing.
I did say to her she would be more than welcome to wear a nightie in here. We got the camera kept up, but she was like, no, she's a lady.
Yes, Andy, I've been on the hemp gummies. They've been doing really good.
So she certain standards. Zebras, yes.
Zebras.
We like zebras, don't we, Kat?
They can be quite nasty.
They certainly can. They certainly can. We like zebras. Little hard monkeys they are.
You say the burdoc's supposed to get rid of the big seashell cells. I was reading today that they have found that some of the big sea can be cured by the bee venom.
Yeah. No, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's I'm not gonna dwell on it or give too many details out at the moment because this is a bit of a personal one.
I'll just say it further.
9th of July, go get tested, and I should get results after that to be able to tell me what it is. Hopefully, it's nothing to worry about.
And coming off that, I have read today, I shared it with you and a couple of the other lads, that experts are now saying that this ash dieback, the ash beginning to become resilient against it and curing themselves of it. So the likelihood is that the ash dieback, like the rabbit myxomatosis, will disappear. Well, not disappear completely, but it'll certainly, we won't be losing all our ash trees because they're learning to heal themselves.
Oh, the sun's gone down.
He's out in the windows and it's not boiling.
The sun has gone down. The sun has got his hat on and he can go fuck off. That's language.
Naughty Benny. He just got told off by Nikki. She's got out the bath and was naked getting dressed, and he opened the bedroom curtains thinking it would be nice for Luna to look out into the garden. You flashed your wife, you bad man.
I did that to you not so long ago, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Did one of those where I throw the curtains over and, hey, Gaz. She's like, thank you, Mike. It's like, all right, yeah, sorry.
Excellent.
Well, we should
probably bump into you, Andy.
Yeah, well, we'll be there probably just after lunchtime, I would have thought.
Oh, Self Hill, brilliant.
Yeah, Self Hill, good plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be there just after lunchtime. You'll see me. No, you might not see me. I might wear camouflage.
You'll notice me because I'll be the one on the TGA Breeze, probably mowing people down as I go, and I might even have a flag on.
In fact, what I'll do,
and on the back of it, you'll see a sticker that says, "Don't follow me. I do stupid shit."
Yeah, I should wear my MTP top with the orange sleeves because that's gonna upset some of the purists there. Or I'll get somebody come up and go, "Oh no, that's so cool. Where did you get that?"
Yeah, the box hedging, it's actually a little tiny white butterfly. And if you go on Amazon, you can buy a box of stuff. And what you do is you spray it onto your box hedges. And what it does, you do it and then you do it 1 or 2 weeks later, and it stops the cycle of the caterpillars, because you might notice these little tiny willy caterpillars. And what they do, they will munch your box hedging until they kill it. So if you once you've killed the affected box, you can. There's enough in there to do several applications to your box. I'm waiting for him to spit his drink out. But yeah, it's a little tiny white box box butterfly off. laser eggs. He just spat it out of the carpet. Yeah, this little white butterfly, and it lays its eggs. The caterpillars do actually destroy your box hedging, and yeah, it's easy enough to get. It's about £16-19 for a box and of it, box for your box, and it'll cure it. Okay.
Yeah, it is good stuff. Because those little caterpillars, they are.
I said, wish he was a moth.
absolutely ravenous. They'll destroy a hedge in days, and they'll strip it back to the wood, kill it, and.
Well, you've got to try some redheads or some blondes in, Benny.
What's that?
He's only ever seen brown ones. I'll get myself in trouble again, Ollie.
I don't know what to say.
At least his missus has got lots of moss coming out of it for some reason. It's like today, Owen, Life's a Hobby, put on a video, and he's going really fast on his push bike, and I said he looked like an iguana flicking his tongue about.
I know you said you didn't want anything alcoholic, but if you just want something cold for your hands.
Oh, so give me a Thatcher's Juicy. Aptly and sweet,
I can make you a shandy if you want.
I ain't got a glass, it's all right.
I brought a glass up.
Oh, dear. Yeah, we had that once we went and stayed down at your father's caravan. He had a mobile home caravan down at Durdledore, and for some reason he thought it'd be fun. You'd have a shower, didn't you?
Yeah.
And he was naked, jumping up and down on the bed.
Silly.
But we didn't realise that there was the curtains and nets were open, and the poor people behind us camping got an eyeful.
Look at that, got ice on the top of it.
Oh, Andy. She'll get you back, Benny. She'll wait till you're running around. We'll let you men do that, running around the house dark, because she'll push you out the back door and lock the door, and you'll be stuck out there.
There you go, Andy.
I think, Andy, he said we're going on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. We'll be there Sunday. We'll be there on the Sunday just after lunchtime.
Yes, I've got a hobgoblin, but it's not. It's a juicy apple Thatcher's.
And lemonade.
Lemonade. Oh, that's quite nice. Mm.
Mm. Oh. That is rather refreshing. I do love a cider on a hot day.
You can't beat a cider on a hot day.
Yeah, it's refreshing, isn't it? Yeah.
So anyway, so what have you dear people been doing? Anything exciting?
Oh, Andy.
I know that poor Lee Roberts is still doing the stone walls, and
he's grafted.
I believe he's already worked through 6 tons of stone.
Yeah.
Breaking it down obviously to fit, and it's not been the best quality, so he's got another 6 ton to go through, because the people have decided that they actually want the walls higher and longer.
Yeah, absolute hell. Right, camp's going to be in October. The reason the camp's going to be in October, I'm not going to be doing a midsummer one, is we've just been hit with the Surrey Hills area, which is all part of the South Downs National Park. We've just been hit with a total fire ban. Okay, now that means that although I can use the woods, I've got to be careful. Got to be really careful. It means no outdoor fires. It means to the point where people can't have barbecues in their own gardens.
It's a rock tinderbox out there. We've got a lot of military land around us, haven't we?
And the woods at the moment, to be honest with you, the wildlife we have got up there is struggling. I'm going to be doing a video up there this week, but we won't be in there for long. But I'll do a video, I'll show you guys, try and explain it. But the wildlife we have in there is struggling. So we're trying to keep the disturbance down to the minimum. and I have taken on the information that, and I have applied myself within the woods and that, and in a lot of what I do, a fire ban of my own. So even if I'm not in the South Downs National Park all the time, the weather is like this, yeah, I've applied a fire ban. It's just common sense. It's just trying to be practical and sensible. So what we're going to do, there is going to be a camp, but the next camp, we don't have an exact date yet, but means you can apply this month to your books, is October. Okay.
John was saying October, we could try a virtual meetup. He's in South Alabama with Blackie and the golf course folks.
Brilliant. Right, if you can let me know the dates for that, John, and then we can do a virtual meetup. Definitely. That sounds like a cracking idea. Yeah, so my camp's going to be in October, and once I've got the dates for that, I'll let you know. It was going to be mid-August, but to be honest with you, what I'm about to face in July, once I've got to the end of July, I've got a lot on, and from August into the beginning of September, the first 2 weeks of September, I am flat out. It's got a bit of a nightmare coming. So I sat there and went, realistically, I can't put my all into doing a camp in those periods. So what we'll do, we're aiming at October. We're aiming at October for doing a camp. The weather should be a little bit easier going, as the fire bans should be off.
Yeah.
And again, as I was chatting to Chris about today, and as he pointed out, and the nights will be drawing in a bit, which makes it a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
Yes. Okie doke. And definitely, John.
And we have got a few more. You got another toasty chat. There's a second.
Yeah, we got more people. We've got more people joining.
Oh yeah, Shoe Life did another toasty.
Yeah,
I'm doing mine.
Anybody else that's interested? Yeah, the toasty challenge is still going. That's still going to be running into next month, so there's plenty of time for you to send in your.
There's a new one downstairs.
Yeah, your videos of toasties. I'll go get it if you want a sec.
You could do.
Yeah, show us yours. Show me your toasty.
Well, I went and I thought, well, it's nice having these toasties, and I've enjoyed everyone's toasties. So in the savoury ones, the sweet ones, I think Sue Life is actually getting quite addicted to these whole toasties, and Sam enjoyed his. Well, the thing is, if you're together and is one person and one toasty maker, it makes it you got to wait for that person to do their toasty, and you're smelling it and you're wanting it, and you're sort of thinking it's not fair, I've got to wait. Well, we did try today to do the other day someone was advertising on our local Facebook marketplace. They had the Ridge Monkey toasty, but they also had the saucepan one, which is the same, but it's really deep, for 20 quid, but unfortunately it gone. But on dear old Temu, as you know, this one is the one that Benny sent to Mick. But look what I got myself. Look at it. This is a double. So you can actually do two toasties. So you can have the two toasties together. Ooh. Come on, that's it. You can have your two toasties together, or as we found, this you can put in pastry or the tortilla wraps, and you can make a giant one.
It was one of you guys that put in the toasty challenge. One of the videos, I won't say which one, because then it means you've got to go and look at it. But in the toasty challenge, one of the guys demonstrated how you use one of those, put pastry in it, put a filling into the pastry, and made a pie. A pie.
Yeah.
And so I tried it myself the other day, and by golly, it worked, and it worked well.
Yeah.
So,
you could fit a Subway in that one.
You could.
But this was £16, maybe less.
Yep. and of course I've still got my one sausage wonder.
Yeah, so we've got we can have a starter, a main course, and a pudding.
And yeah, it's toasty makers. I'm. Do you know what? As well, if you're a prepper, if you're thinking about your prepper kit for home, and especially like me, so my prepper system at home, if the power went down, is a little gas stove. That's how I've been doing these. It's just on the little gas stove on its lowest setting.
But it cooks really fast, that one.
And it cooks lovely. So again, things like, yeah, you can make a pie in it. You can. I might even do that. I might even do a video where I make a pie in it. Yeah. Why not?
Because it's quite deep, and you could. Is it? Yeah. Oh, excellent! Really, Benny's doing a toasty tomorrow.
Yeah, and it cooks quick and easy. So again, the toasty challenge is still running. If you've got two choices,
they are brilliantly, aren't they?
Look at various channels, or everybody that's done a toasty. I've got a playlist on my channel, which is the Toasty Challenge 2025, and everybody's video that I'm finding with a toasty in it.
I've got a
slapping it on there.
I've got a main and a pudding that I want to do, so I'm going to be doing them hopefully this week. And so you can see Kazzy's version of her toasty challenge stuff.
Do I get to try it out?
I think it's got 2 weeks. Yeah.
We've got 2 weeks, Benny. We'll give it 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Where does that take us from now, date-wise?
John, we've already done. You did 2 individual ones in that, didn't you?
Yeah.
We've done them with salami and a bit of cheese, and we also did a large one. We used short crust pastry, and we put in there the tinned Prince's red cherry pie filling. Very nice.
So next Sunday is the 6th.
We say a toasty, as we say in the rules. A toasty can be, because it's toasted, it could be pastry, it could be tortilla wrap, it can be bread, it can be
whatever you want, as long as it's toasted. And it doesn't have to be in one of those. It can be on a griddle. It can be done however you want. The idea is it's a camp style. So rather than using the cooker, the oven indoors, whatever camp system that you can safely use where you are. Now we've got fire bans on around here, so I can't really light a fire.
I suppose so.
I'm using the gas cooker as you
could make like oatcakes and toast those with you can do like oatcakes and toast it in there, But it's Adam. It's anything you can put in there, whatever you like. If you want to make it like a stuffed Yorkshire pudding, you can put like a roast dinner. You can have it. We were watching a video the other day with Virginia Bushcraft, and he had cheese and broccoli.
Nice, wasn't
it? In it, So whatever you like.
So we've got looking at dates for actually calling the end of this challenge. We can either say 2 weeks from today or 4 weeks from today. It's up to you guys. So that will either be the 13th of July, Sunday the 13th of July, we'll call it.
Yeah.
Which means next week, I need you guys and anybody that's interested to have had a look at the playlist, select the one you like the most, make a note of it, and then next Sunday, what we'll do is we will get you guys to stick up which one you like the most. Whoever gets the most, that's the winner.
Is there enough time for someone? I think Adam B might want to do it.
Or we can give it another couple of weeks. In fact, let's give it another couple of weeks. Let's make it a bit easier. Shall we say 27th? 27th of July. Sunday the 27th of July. End of July. 27th
that is the cut-off. That is going to be
that's the night of the draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tarpac have given us the Ridgeline set as a prize to the winner.
So there we go. So Sunday the 27th of July the winner will be announced, and I will start reminding you guys over the next couple of weeks, watch the playlists, work out which one you like the most, and it's going to be down to you guys.
I know.
It'll be down to you guys to decide which one you think you like the most.
Well, Jess has had asthma issues and chest infection. She had to call the ambulance out nearly hour this morning.
Jess.
Sending love and healing light, my love.
Hope you're feeling better now. This heat doesn't help. It's
27th of July.
Right? Again, that's one of the things, guys. You're all sensible. I know you're all switched on that, on your travels and that. If you see somebody flaked out, somebody struggling, maybe just see if they need some help. There's a lot of people going to be affected by this heat, maybe asthmatic and that.
Well, if you do it and you're the winner, we will let you know. 3 Dog. And how is your dear Freya? She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's.
Everyone, 3 Dog has got Mavis. Is it Mavis Freya? He's got her own YouTube site now, so you can hear her story.
Yeah, no, Jess is struggling just like you said, a rough one.
Okay, and Benny's going to be giving the full details of the 48-hour survival challenge tomorrow in his video.
Okie doke, Benny. Not a problem. Not a problem. We will be keen and looking to do that. And anybody else that's got any challenges? Yeah. Anybody else that wants to put up a challenge on their channel?
Yeah, because Benny started the Bulldog challenge. You started the Toasty challenge.
It's all a bit of fun.
There's One Night Survival, Set by Sticks, and Life's a Hobby.
Yeah, it's all a good bit of fun. At the end of the day, it's setting challenges. It's nobody has to do a challenge or take part in it if they don't feel like it, or if they feel it's not their thing, their cup of tea. But it's a way of interacting.
We did say the other night, I wonder if people, companies like Rich Monkey and that, I suddenly wondered why there's all of a sudden this huge swathe of people buying their stuff.
Oh, that's an idea. Right, you can send an email to Rich Monkey tomorrow and tell them that I'm doing a toasty challenge on my channel, and would they be interested in donating the prize?
He's just been doing a paddling pool video about Freya. Oh, lovely. Yeah, I noticed today someone having to. They were out. I think it might have been Spain. It was 30 odd degrees out there, and a horse had collapsed because it was just taking people up and down slopes and things like that. So people had to unharness it and water it and that. So think about the animals. Put some water out for the birds. Your hedgehogs, the foxes, and that. Just put a bowl of water out.
If you're keen on your local wildlife, when it's like this, it's not the food that they want. It's the water they're desperate for. So a little saucer of water out there, it saves a lot of things. And remember, don't do it too deep, because obviously some things fall in and can't get out.
Yeah, if you've got even like a ruler, if you've got a little bowl and you put a ruler or something in it, the bumblebees can land on that and just go down to the water and have a drink themselves, because they need
stick, anything like that.
Yeah,
anything like that. And again, it's one of I used to have it's one of the saddest things I've ever come across. I think I used to put water out for the birds, and what I had was an old saucepan with no handle on it. So I used to put it out for the birds, top it up outside the range hut every day. Not a problem. Had a couple of days off, come back to find a mouse in there, and there was the little scratch marks all the way around the inside of the thing. I felt so bad. I was like,
people say put some rocks or stones in it, so that, leave something that's in it. Even if you wanted to dig a hole slightly and sort of put it into the ground a bit, but put something in it.
Something so you can get out. Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm not a fan of mice, I've got to admit, but it was.
Everyone's got a drink.
I felt terrible. I was like, blimey, poor little bugger.
Yeah, it's hard on the cattle, especially if you. I'm a meat eater, as you know, but I still find it sad when you see these big fields of pigs, and all they've got is those tin huts. There's not a tree, and you know that pigs need to root, and they like to root under tree roots, don't they?
Pigs are a forestry animal anyhow.
We're lucky enough here near us. There is a farmer who's got all these pigs in the woods, and they are. Yeah.
They are happy, and cattle are intelligent. If there's shade, they'll be under it. They'll find it. The video I did the other day was one of the animals that I always feel sorry for. I'd actually intended to walk right out to the coast on my video, And I got halfway across that field, and obviously it's a footpath across the field, so you don't detour off footpaths. It's not on. And seeing the sheep all laid out in a long line in this little patch of shade along the hedge, I was like, if I walk up there, I'm going to flush them all out into the field. Do I do that? Or do I just say, you know what, turn around, have a walk somewhere else? And that's what I did. I turned around, walked back.
We watched Farmer Pete, and he actually had, when his girl grew up, he put the old trampoline, the big garden trampoline, in the fields, and that's where the calves and the lambs used to get underneath that, didn't they?
Yeah. They were not moving.
I've seen people with deer underneath those trampolines.
Yeah, tin huts to generate the heat. Yeah, it's you can always.
I know they do it because it's business and that, but yeah, it's.
I mean, if they are out in the open, they need wallows. They need somewhere where they can go and cool down. Basically, a wallow is just a big muddy pit. Usually, what you'll do is pipe water into an area in a field, and the pigs will turn that into a wallow. Because pigs suffer with sunburn quite badly.
They do. Especially because they're pink. They're pink.
Yeah, so what they want to do is they'd like to go and get a layer of mud on themselves to protect themselves and cool their bodies down. They're very, very similar to us in their makeup, in the skin thickness, the muscle layout, the tissue layout, and as susceptible as human beings are to the elements. So, you see pigs out there. Yeah.
It's like they're saying about donkeys that rides. They're supposedly, they're only allowed to have business for a certain times of the day, and they're if a temperature gets above a certain thing, then they are supposed to load them up and take them back.
Well, we were talking about dogs the other day, weren't we? We were seeing that staff being rescued, and I always said to Kaz, I keep a window breaker in the car as part of a rescue kit because I've come across accidents where people are trapped. But I have no qualms about trying to, if push comes to shove, breaking a window to help a dog out in the heat. I have no qualms about that at all. Obviously, what I'm going to do...
It says ring the police, but the problem is, by the time a police officer gets to you,
it depends on the condition of the dog, doesn't it? If the dog's just looking a bit mildly uncomfortable and that, then I might wait for the police. And if the owner's lucky, the police will turn up first. If not, the window's going through. Simple as that. And I will phone the RSPCA the second I put the window through. But if you're going to do that, my top tip to you is get your camera phone out, film it first, get your evidence there. Go, this is the reason I've done it.
They say if you've got an animal like a dog or a cat that's got pale skin, to put sunblock on the nose and the ears, and it's like pigs. Or majority now we haven't really got our traditional breeds anymore. The saddlebacks are, because the big whites, bigger breed, they get more money out of them. So therefore, they burn really bad.
That chap up at Hindhead, he used to cost me a fortune in the summer buying sunblock for his pigs, and he used to go and rub his pigs down twice a day with sunblock. Purely simply because yes, he raised pigs for meat, but the guys, Mac visited there with us. The guy's idea of welfare was animal. You've never seen such happy pigs, They lived the perfect happy pig life, which is
restaurant life. It's funny that it's like you give the cows and that salt lick, and you think it'd be counterproductive, but it isn't. It's because they need the salt as much as they need the water, and a lot of the salt licks have garlic in it, which stops the flies from bugging them. So.
Well, when they say salt lick, I mean, there are all sorts of minerals.
Ray was just saying he gives the horses Restolite gel.
I mean, it's and again, was somebody said, how do you know it's too hot for a dog? So take your shoes off and spend 5 minutes.
Or the palm test. He says 5-second palm test. Put your palm on the ground. If it's too hot for your hand, it's certainly too hot for your dog. So, it does make you mad when you see them out like that. I mean, it's different if you're taking somewhere that's like a woodland area and they're not in direct sunlight, but concrete paths, artificial turf, and sand. Too hot.
Sand is the worst. How many of us? I mean, I grew up North Cornwall, big sandy beaches, and I can remember going down to the beach with my surfboard, all the rest of it, and it would be a calculation of at what point do I take my shoes off and start running,
Yeah.
Because that sand, bloody hell, that could get hot. You know, it was, murderous.
I mean, they're lucky now these days, like your pets. Like, I even seen them for cats and rabbits now. We get, Willow's got cool mats.
Yeah.
We even got one that's king size. We've got on our bed that keeps us cool. But now I've seen now that you can get them for hamsters, rabbits as well, because they all suffer from heat.
And any animal will. I mean, Willow's favourite place downstairs is the tiles, isn't it?
Yeah.
We got in our dining room. It's all tiled, and he goes in there and he's, I think what they call it, splooting.
Yeah.
Where he literally on his belly, with his legs out like that, his back legs out behind him, his chin's on the ground, and all that is he's just trying to pull his body
And when he gets on that big cool mat thing we got on the bed, he's wiggling, isn't he? He's rubbing his head and wiggling all over the place.
Although last night he did it to me.
Yeah.
He got on there. He was doing his. I got my head down and I'm like that. And all of a sudden, this backside came across my face like that. And as it went past my face, it went. Ah. I was like,
Yeah, you're right, Stuart. They do. They think, if we bury the coals in the sand on the beach, and then the next poor kid comes along with their bucket and spade or whatever, or the hand starts, I'm going to dig a big hole.
Well, it still stands on it.
Yeah.
And it might look like sand on top, but it's molten glass underneath. Imagine putting your foot into a bucket of molten glass.
Yeah.
It's absolutely traumatic. Yeah. And again, just laziness.
Lee said he got bad blisters and brought just running to the walk with his kids in his arms. The trouble is, people that have their shoes on, they don't think. It's like the brain doesn't click that, it's nothing hot up there, so where is it going? It's going into the ground where you're walking on the tarmac.
That's the problem we have now, isn't it? The ground's hot as well.
Hi, Mr. D.
Even in the evening, hi D.
D's
even
in the
evenings, the issue we're having now is the ground is so hot. The sun's down now, but the air's hot because it's just radiating heat back up from the ground. It's just,
It's good that they do, Kitten, but they shouldn't have to. Should they put posters up? People should have that a bit of common sense to think about it.
Well, again, is that do we bring back in licensing for dogs and make people understand? You know? I don't want to see that, but in a way, I also do.
I wish that those throwaway barbecues would be banned.
Yeah.
Because it's a majority of those that actually causing all the fires in the woodland and on the training areas and that, because people just leave them.
Yeah, discard it.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered to wait for it to cool down.
No.
It'll be all right. We'll just dig a little hole.
That's it. I mean, there's several countries, the hangies and that are in the sand and that.
Yeah.
Because it does keep the heat in.
But the hangies normally dug down fairly deep.
Yeah.
You know.
But it still keeps the heat in, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does keep the heat in for a long time. I mean, the other one I don't like to see, and we've got a spate of it going on around here, is candle lanterns. You know,
those things.
As somebody that's worked with and spent a lot of his life around the countryside and livestock, they're an evil thing because, don't get me wrong, I know how beautiful they are and I know how fantastic you can see 1,000 of them.
Yeah, there are for memories of the people they've lost.
Yeah, but they've got to come down, and they are invariably a wire frame that ends up round livestock. I've seen horses and cattle burnt by these.
Yeah, I've seen them with their jackets on their back. Caught fire. Serious burns.
Comes down in the woods, comes down in haylage, comes down in wheat fields, it comes down in places, there's no control over it. So they come down in places and just create hell. It's not something I'd like to see those banned.
I mean, I understand the ones they put in the water are like little floating boats. This is pretty, but they're in water. But then again, you got the rubbish. But it's better than setting these hundreds of.
Well, it's wonderful to see them going up, but they've got to come down somewhere. And the theory is that they all go out before they come down. But even
you still got the wire.
Even if they go out before they come down, you still got that wire to worry about.
Yeah.
It's just And it's a difficult thing because culturally, in a lot of cultures, they are important.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's no, sorry, not it. Ban it, make them illegal. That's my rant now. I'm all ranted out now. It's too hot to rant today. Willow is absolutely zonked. He's on the floor there in front of one of the fans.
He hasn't even bothered
hasn't even wanted to get up on my lap.
He's Sparko on the floor.
Yeah. And of course, it'll come to life in another hour or two once it cools down, won't it?
Yeah, hopefully we can get him to eat something. He's eaten a couple of bits today, but he's not really interested. Yeah, balloons are the same, Dirty Faces. You're right. It's they come down, and people who like cattle, people don't realise cattle have to taste everything, and if they've got a balloon in their field, they'll it, and then it gets into their digestive system.
Cows are literally the most inquisitive thing on the face of the
planet. Farmer P, they were licking his tractor and he's cut grass the other day. You put
something new in a field and walk off and leave it, and the cows will come and stand around it and look at it. As a kid, I got the belt. I couldn't, literally, my feet were lifted off the ground. Purely and simply because one of the things I thought was funny to do was to go down and lay in the middle of the cattle field. And I would just lay there and wait for all the cows to come and stand around me. So you'd end up with a herd of about 50 or 60 cows stood around you. Once they all stood around me, I'd jump up and shout boo, and they'd all run off, which I thought was funny until my dad see me do it. And I never did it ever again. So I got taught a lesson there.
It should be taught in school. And then perhaps the kids can go home and explain to their parents that
why, what the risks are.
You're right, Dirty Face. Yeah, they do get tangled in the birds, wildfowl, your nesting birds and that.
Can you imagine actually having a thatched roof and seeing them things?
It must be. Oh yeah.
It's one of those things that they're wonderful at the point of release, and there's no thought to what's coming afterwards, where it's going to end up, and that. I think it all comes down to responsibility and education. And I think the kids are the ones to educate. Kids are brilliant because kids will go home and tell mum and dad no.
And we're very lucky. This past year, we've been having a lot of birds and fish and that we don't normally have in this country. And I saw the other day that off Weymouth, I think it was, someone had seen a sunfish. I don't even know what a sunfish is. It's a big fish that it's tipped onto its side, and it's got it's. I think it's you might just see the top fin, the top petrel fin, but there was one seen this week off the Isle of Wight, and they've got killer whales up in Scotland. I mean, they do go up there, but they've been seen in areas of Scotland that they're not normally seen in.
What was that article you were reading to me today about a whale? The one with the harpoon. That was fascinating.
Oh yeah. It was back in 2007. A bow whale was found, and it'd been going around with the end of a harpoon still in its neck. And when they looked at the harpoon was made in 1890. So it means that whale had actually been, likelihood is, it's been swimming around for 100 years with this thing in their neck.
Yeah, and obviously.
Yeah, harpoon.
It getting on all right. Yeah. But that's quite. It just shows how long these things can live for.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. You think 100 years.
Was that a Greenland shark? It's been around for 530 years, I reckon.
Yeah. That's some age, isn't it? Some age. Nature is a wonderful thing. Incredible. We often talk about long-lived things. We talk about tortoises and that because we all know that.
And parrots and spiders.
Parrots and spiders. Yeah, spiders can be quite long-lived.
But yeah, this shark, she's 500 years old. So she was there. She would have known when Elizabeth I was on the throne, and
incredible. What it's seen, what it's heard as well.
Yeah. because it's gone from
sailing ships
to submarines and huge
huge
tankers and God knows whatever else. Yeah. It is
taking seashells in many places. Yeah, yeah, and stones.
You're not going to take stones from beaches, are you?
No. Safety should be in all schools' curriculum. Yeah, you're right. It's a definite there.
The thing is, you never see a young lobster, do you?
No.
That's what they say, because there is a lobster hatchery in Padstow, and you can actually go in and see all these tiny, witty little lobsters. And at a certain stage, they take them all out at sea and release them to actually help with the natural numbers because they got overfished. The thing is, as I said, where do they go? Because the next time you see them, they're like yay big or yay big or where do they go?
Yeah,
it's
as Lee Michelle said there about netting on farms. There are rules to that now. They're not supposed to use certain size nets. The idea is to try and limit. I mean, there's no way of stopping it entirely, but to try and limit the number of birds that are killed. So again, it's one of those things. One I used to get called for as a deer manager quite regularly was where deer have got tangled in fences, going over fences. Invariably, they catch their back legs.
Tennis nets. They're especially the roe deer, aren't they?
Yeah. You get a roe deer in a tennis net, and you're called out to try and help this animal, and it's all hell breaks loose because
it's stressed and
we got somebody was talking about deer attacks last year. Now, I've been a deer manager for years. I've been involved with wildlife rescue for years, and the only times I've actually seen people physically attacked in the UK by deer are invariably red deer in the rut, and that's very, very rare, but it does happen. Also, if a stag, especially the larger species like sika and red, is cornered, especially by things like dogs, they will go into a self-protection mode. But most of the small species like roe, muntjac, Chinese water deer and that, and even in the majority of cases the fallow, they're not going to attack you. They want to go away. But if they're injured and you have to deal with them, then all hell breaks loose, because these animals have immensely strong legs. There's an immense amount of power, and they've got a very, very sharp cloven hoof. And what invariably happens, we have people killed every year trying to save these animals, trying to help them, and that are literally that the deer's kicked out. Nothing more than trying to protect itself and get up. But they've kicked out, and I've heard of throats being lacerated, eviscerations, all sorts of horrible.
Yeah, a lady had an evisceration from that was red deer, but she was actually in a gateway, wasn't it? And she was out when they were in the rut. And you can see it from a distance. You get cameras, you can zoom in. You don't need to.
I also know somebody that had a fractured skull from a deer kick. So again, as a deer manager, if it's something that I'm picking up from the side of the road that's going on to somewhere else, the first thing I do is I strap its legs, and there is a strap system and a method for strapping their legs so that they can't kick out. Kaz, unfortunately, we had the lightweight one day, and we had one
I was
go
in the
down
back
in front
with
of us, and what I picked up was an unconscious deer, and we did everything we could to strap it up, and got it in the back of the Land Rover. Kaz is in there, and all of a sudden, that's it. It woke up and it kicked out.
I had to take my top and put it round its head to try and sort of calm it down.
And it kicked loose, and I had to stop the vehicle as fast as possible, get it out, drag it out away from Kaz so it didn't harm her. But she did the right thing. So if you're dealing with anything like this, any animal you ever come across that's majorly injured, cover its head. Cover its head.
Cover its head, and they soon calm down. It's like most animals. They do that to alligators and that. Crocodiles.
Cut off the senses.
So you got 92. We've been having our one, which is 29. We're supposed to have 32 tomorrow, but tonight it's supposed to be 19 degrees all night.
This is the thing.
It's awkward to do the.
Let me just let you know what we are in Celsius. I always get the two confused. It's my dyslexia. excuse me, 23 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. So
23 degrees Celsius is equal to 73.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, the sun is down now. We're at 74 degrees.
Yeah.
At the height today,
we're 29.
29 degrees to Celsius to Fahrenheit. So it was 84 here today.
So we're at 84 today, and it's probably going to be 90.
30. They reckon 32 to 34 tomorrow,
Yeah.
don't they? 30. Stop that. Do that. 34 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. 93 degrees here tomorrow.
Oh.
So that's what we're running at the moment.
3 dogs got 21 degrees here. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whew, it's hot.
What was the humidity rating in Farnborough, Hampshire today? 78%. There we go. 78% humidity.
That's a good idea, Benny. Get out before the heat kicks in and get your things done and back indoors before you bake yourself.
Yeah.
And hydrate.
Benny, any news on your new motor, mate? Any news on what you're, I think, looking at the Navaras and that? Excited to hear. Benny's going to be a truck man.
Ooh.
Benny and his truck.
Ooh.
This 4x4. I get this image of like the big American 4x4s, the lifted ones with all the lights underneath.
The big horns on the front.
That the mud trucks go wild and that with Benny in it. Yeah.
It's
21 degrees down there. 21 degrees. Yeah.
It's just going to be hot tonight, isn't it?
It's going to be hot tonight.
If that bloody cat starts again tonight, I'm throwing a flipping shoe at it.
I'll keep you all posted on me and the cat wars because this has been going on for days now.
Got a water pistol coming tomorrow. And
for those of you that joined us later didn't hear about it, so last night, for weeks now, we've had an issue with 2 of the neighbours' cats. L200, that's Friday. It's Rockbox. Excellent, Benny. We'll
just keep it. Yeah, don't rush.
So we've had for weeks now an issue with 2 moggies. Now I don't want to kill these moggies. I don't want to harm these moggies. Let's get that right. I don't want to cause them any pain. But for some reason they've decided my front garden is their battle zone every night. Every night.
Which sets Willow off.
I wish they would just kick it off and actually have a fight, but they don't.
Willow goes off and then,
sets Willow off, wakes me up, wakes Kaz up. We've tried everything. We've put stuff in the garden to keep cats out. We've tried Willow wee, Mikey wee, to the point of pooing in the corner of the garden. See if I can borrow somebody's pet lion. It's got to that point. But last night it was extremely hot. We didn't get to sleep till about 2. And we'd only been asleep a little while, and
about an hour
it started. Most. And I came into the room here, and I got, I got one of these big, heavy-duty ration pack sealable bags. Okay, and I went into the bathroom and I filled it. Okay, I filled it with water. There must have been the best part of.
Yeah, so we get foxes and they don't take it. The foxes poo everywhere and they don't care.
Heavy duty. Sealed it, did up the strip on the end, carried it like that.
So a big water pillow.
Wobble out the bathroom, into the bedroom, to the window. Oh, as hard as I could out the window, and it went up and it went out. It went a long way. And it came down, not by luck, but not by skill, but by luck. It landed right between these 2 cats. It landed like a Moab bomb. It was like one of them GB-25s or whatever they were that the Americans had just dropped. It was like a nuclear device. The grass literally flattened in an ever-increasing ring. And it went boom. It really went with a wallop. To the point where I actually went, Jesus Christ.
We don't.
one cat took off for the hedge, right, which has got a chicken wire fence in the middle of it.
Which has got a hole, but it missed it.
Bounced off that. The other cat did one of them strange cat things where it actually levitated to about 4 feet in the air, then accelerated off like some sort of Harrier jump jet.
Yeah. John said a farmer's own B2.
Yeah, it was. It was literally. It was actually the noise it made when it hit the ground frightened me. It made me jump. And the grass, it was incredible because the grass in the garden was about that long because I don't want to cut it because we're in the middle of summer. And it just literally flattened it in a circle.
Like crop circles.
3.5 feet across. And I thought, that's it. Got rid of it. They won't come back now.
Half an hour.
Back out there.
Owen, what is your good trick for getting through a hot night? Be interested to hear.
Yeah.
No, we haven't got aircon. None of us have got aircon. All we got floor 20-inch fans, the ones that you can tilt, and we've got 2 upstairs, 1 in the hallway, 1 in our bedroom. We got 2 downstairs. But
take a bed sheet, make it down, totally bring it out, fold it, put it in the fridge, and then at bedtime, throw it over the bed, evaporate overnight, and use behind corners.
Another one you can do is 20 minutes, half hour before you go to bed, have a chamomile tea, because a chamomile tea has got the same stuff in it that they put into sleeping pills, like the natural remedy ones. So they actually will help you get to sleep. So if you get too hot,
and it helps cool the body as well.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So tonight I'm having chamomile, a double chamomile.
Tonight, if those cats come back.
But that sounds good. I'll give that a go, Owen, definitely.
Show me some training one. But in actual fact, go on, Barney. Whole thing.
So your Mills grenade?
Yeah, my old Second World War Mills grenade. Used to use that for teaching people how they actually function and work.
Yes, it's your little doo-doos in there.
And for those of you that don't know, that's a Mills bomb, a hand grenade. So there. So you get, next time you're watching a movie, the guy pulls out the pin. Right, this spring in here.
That's a good idea.
Flips that handle off and propels that hammer down like that. That hammer there is a percussion cap, and over there is a fuse, and packed around that is explosive. That's how that works.
Yeah, Frida, we've got these little like a little cage with a fan on, and I bought them, and they come with 4 little plastic glasses. And what you do is you fill them with water and freeze them, and then you put them in this little cage and hang that off the fan, and that blows cool air. But definitely, I like a cold shower. I can't do hot showers in hot weather. I know it's supposed to help, but I just can't do it.
There we go. And that was one I got called out to years ago. So that was out on the ranges, and all you could see out the dirt was like that. And we had bomb disposal come out. We shut everything down. It was like 8 hours of people coming out and clearing it. And when they took it out, that's all that was left. It was just a ton of thing. But again, you've got to be sensible.
Yeah, you don't know, do
you? You didn't know what was below the well. I knew what could be below the ground because I was able to identify what it was. But there, so that's tailfin from a little 2-inch mortar, Second World War, usually used for smoke, illumination, close quarters. But yeah, funny things that happen.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, it's cool too.
Yeah. We're at 10:02, so we're going to shut down in another 10 minutes. So I'll give you guys a chance to say goodnight to one another and have a great week and all the rest of it. Enjoy yourselves, get outside, have an adventure. Hopefully it's going to cool down a little bit.
And hopefully we'll get to the Capel show on Sunday.
We will get to the Capel show on Sunday. I really quite fancy that. And I will be taking Kaz along on a big mobility scooter.
And this public beware.
Yeah, beware.
My spatial awareness sometimes can be lacking.
I shall bring I shall bring an indelible mark with me in case anybody wants to sign Caroline.
As I said, yeah, I'm the one with the sticker on. It's got the different moon signs on the front, and on the back it says, don't follow me. I do stupid shit.
Yeah, all night cats peeing me off. Yeah. I don't know what it is with them. There's plenty of gardens where their owners are, where they're more than welcome. But for whatever reason, they just decided my garden is the place to do.
They got their own garden.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I'm not going to harm them. I'm not going to do anything to harm them. Frighten them? Maybe. Yeah. I mean, the next...
Make it not the best garden for him to go in. There's plenty of other gardens they can go in.
The next item of equipment which Kaz has ordered me today is a water pistol.
It actually looks like a rifle.
So it's going to be...
They now come, a lot of them, they're battery operated.
Oh, so...
There was one that I looked at, but I thought, I'm not paying 59 quid for it. But, yeah. So, yeah, you get them now with the batteries go in the bottom, but this is more like, it looks more like a AK-47. In blue and white.
Careful. I'm going to get in the house raided. There's a bloke at a window with an AK.
Yeah, he's tried that, John. The noise did not frighten them at all.
Yeah. The next thing is like, if I had a fish pond in the garden, it's going to be something like a Vietnam War movie. There's just going to be me emerging from the water.
Do you want to pick him? What's a she? Yeah, Willow did have his summer shave, but he's had a week of growth, and you can see that he's gone all fluffy again because his hair grows so bloody fast.
There you go, mate.
So he's very sleek. You show him sideways on. He's very sleek. Your hands in the way. There you go. Yeah.
He's draping. Oh. He's flopsy bunny. He's just draping in my arms. Yeah. It's like he's got no bones. It's like he's just sagging there.
Yeah, we have, and we've also got horseshoe cats in the garden, haven't we?
Yeah. Oh, the dog is exhausted. He's been doing so much.
Like
guarding and protecting.
Like Kiwi.
Looking after people.
Like John.
And seeing off.
Yeah, he's like, you can see he's nice and cool because his ears are nice and pale.
Yeah.
He's just, he's so flopsy.
And today, it's literally priority's been making sure he doesn't get overheated, make sure he's comfortable. Oh, he's exhausted. Oh, it's just such a hard life.
Yeah, we've got cool mats for us, and he's got them as well.
Yeah,
they are brilliant. They really are. He's draped upon him. He looks like the cat from Mr. Bond.
So, Mr. Bond, what's we going to do?
He just lays in front of the fans. Our other dogs would play near it, but not as far. He will actually get almost on top of it. But he's and he likes to lay on the tiles. Or when the sun goes down, he lays at the back door because we leave the back door open, but we hang the curtain, the door curtain we pull across, so it just blows in the wind. And he likes to lay underneath that, staring down the garden, waiting for the cat to come through from next door.
Oh, he's exhausted. Yeah, you'd think he walked 20 miles today.
Like, you stay cool too.
So much.
Yeah, he's just a good boy.
So much to do, isn't it?
What you got in your fur?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Be a good boy. He's done too tired.
Anyhow, guys, catch you all later. Take it easy. Be safe. Get outdoors. Have an adventure. Stay cool. Have fun. We'll catch up with you all next week. From me, Kaz, Tarpak, and Mac, and Willow, and Jason. Yeah, take it easy, guys.
We make sure he don't get overheated. He's been staying indoors.
He gets looked after better than we look after ourselves.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's our little fur baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good night, all, and take it easy. Have a great week.
Love those you do. Forgive those you don't. May peace and light be upon you all.
And don't melt.
This is Mickey Kaz. Mickey Kaz out.
Bye.